Guys, welcome back. It is me, Bushcraft Family. Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to go over more shift stuff, because you never know. You never know. And as you've probably seen on the title, these types of people will probably be the first to not make it during a full shift event. One of those things that like tons of prepper channels tell you that that's going to happen tomorrow, or oh yeah, that actually there was supposed to be something happening today, but anyway, the doom and gloom people, those World War III has been happening every day since 4 or 5 years ago, so eventually they'll be right. But who knows? Anyways, before we get started, we won't talk about that. Anyway, let's get along with the thing. Unfortunately, most people of the population fails to prepare. It's, you see it all the time. When there's a hurricane or a tornado or, just power outages. Those are the people who aren't prepared. They don't even have flashlights in their batteries type of people. Where are we going to get water? Where are we going to get our food? That type of situation. There's always those, you always see that. There's always people that need Red Cross or some church help or something like that. And let's go over the types of those people and see what you guys think. The first one I figure is pretty, self-explanatory. People who panic easily. You see this all the time. They hear a bang or something, and those are the first people that are screaming and deer in the headlights, so to speak, or they run and they don't know where they're running to. Stuff happens. You have to be calm. You have to be clear-headed. You have to know what's going on first before you react. And if you panic really fast, it can lead to a bad situation. Now we have the second one: people who talk too much about their preps. You get people who do the prepping thing, and I've got this, I've got that, and it's all in this room, and I've got all this stuff, and I've got 50 years of food, and it's right here in my house. That type of people. There'll be people that remember that, especially if they're in your area. So they know where to go when they're getting hungry, and of course that'll be their downfall. And then you have people with no survival skills at all, and it's almost as bad as the overreacting, the panic people, because it comes back down to the same. It's like the people from other countries that came here to the United States and traveled from the east to the west, that just went to the river and drank water. Oh, our water at home is all clean and fresh and stuff. But there was cows or something down the road that, relieved themselves in the water, and they drank straight from it. And they didn't have the smarts to know, oh, you're supposed to boil your water first. Those are the same type of people. Um, not knowing how to make fire, other than using a lighter, or when the lighter dies, how would I get fire? Our next one is pacifists. When the grid fails, looting, crime, civilization, breaks down, everybody's going to have to be willing to defend themselves. And those who don't want to will be easy targets, so to speak. And there's not much to talk about other than that, because, you're not willing to protect your family or your livelihood, then you're not going to be lasting too long. Our next one is people with no supplies. You even today you see it all the time when there's a storm and stuff, and the big truck with water, there's a line of people because they have no water. They weren't prepared, or food, or anything like that. Or you get even the power outages. Power goes out, they lose all their food, and then they go begging for food because all their food spoiled in the freezers. Simple generator fixes that problem. Our next one is indecisive. Every survival situation requires multiple decisions that we would not have to make while living in normal times. Some of these decisions have to be made quick, instantly. And if you're sitting there trying to decide, should I go left or right? Sometimes it's too late. It has to be done. Boom, split second. So having a quick mental mind helps a lot. Our next one is those who don't bug out in time, and you can flip it around the other way too. This goes both ways. So this kind of extra one here, but those who don't bug out in time, say there's bad people outside that want your stuff, and you hold on until there's so many out there that you don't have a way out, and then it's too late. That would be bad. And it could be the other way around, those who bug out too soon. If you're real quiet and your place seems to be deserted and nothing here and too hard for people to get into and stuff, but I want to go bug out anyway, those type, why leave the safety of a home and all of your supplies to go bug out with a bug out bag? Same difference. And then unfortunately, our next one here is people with chronic illnesses. Fortunately, when the hospitals and pharmacies run dry, all these people find themselves without life-saving treatment or life-saving medicine. And there's not much to say about this, unfortunately, unless you prepare for that kind of thing. Some things you can't prepare for, even though everybody says you can prepare for everything, but unfortunately you can't. But there's other forms of medication that doesn't come from a pharmacy or a doctor. And that's all I'm going to say. Our next one is people who lack the will to win. They give up too easily. Um, things don't go their way the first, second, third, fourth time. They're done in. You know, I'm just gonna sit here and wither away, so to speak. Which there will be many of that, especially nowadays. You know, with the state of the way things go, and unfortunately, you'll see a lot of that right away. Now, there's one on this list, and I don't totally agree with it, because depending on the person, it all depends. The lone wolf. There's a lot of people who say that somebody that is um, does things themselves and is really good by themselves and everything will never be able to make it. And one of the reasons why is because that person can't stay awake and guard their base all the time or their camp or whatever. I don't agree with that. Not that the person can't stay awake for 24/7. That's true. But if you're by yourself, um, you know, and there's many ways to look at it. If you get hurt, you're by yourself. There's nobody to take care of you. But then again, if you're by yourself, you're easier to not be seen. There's less supplies that you need. There's, you know, all kinds of other reasons why. But like I said, it's up to you guys what you think about this. Do you think a lone wolf is one of these that won't survive a shift event, or you think they might thrive? Who knows? Until next time, like always, God bless.